Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Tea. I hope everyone's having a good week so far. Honestly, this time of year, I call it Stressmas. So please make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves and finding a way to decompress. Do me a favor as everyone loads into the room, if you guys can just smash the like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I do want to take a moment to shout out the members. We have Coach Marcus, Silvio Manuel, Lester's Banana, Wise Guy, Leon Jones, Right Hand Cam, Main Event, Brown B, Ill Will, Kedrian Hardy, William Wright, Lewis Matthews, Charles Hookah, Lisa Taylor, Brenda, Meg XD, Reginald McLendon, Panama 135, V Dub, Saeed Gore, Zeno Omega, Spurs Ann, Ron C, Blanco Smoke, Carl for President Anthony, Forscos Fabio, Yazid Yair Bey, Relax and Focus, All Gravy, WW, Neil Howlett, Von Chris Cordova, KM, Big Al Master Chief, Mikey Brass, Sports Facts, Jeffrey Guyett, Christopher Baldwin, and It's Not That Serious. I want to thank you all for being members of the channel. It means so much to me. And I really appreciate all of you. So I hope that you guys are not too upset with me for my tardiness. It's just like I said, this time of year, it's super busy for me, as I'm sure it is for all of you. So I just want to thank you for your time hanging out with me late night. It means a lot, and honestly, I think tonight's going to be a lot of fun for us. So, uh, as you saw the thumbnail, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so
yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
what's up?
So let's see who's all in the chat. I want to see who's with us tonight so far. I see Spurs Ann in here. TMD, Sports Facts. Salute to everybody in the chat. Batman, T Bert the twin. Thank you for holding me down, keeping everybody engaged. I really appreciate you, T Bert. You're awesome. We Max at Football. Salute to you. Thank you for the super chats that you donated in the last show. Really appreciate you guys. I see Young Disciple. Salute to you, big dog. Red Rider BB Gun. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to see the marathon of A Christmas Story. I love that movie. Salute to you, Joe Carr. Yeah, we hang out pretty late in these YouTube streets. Killa Swag, New Foe, #1 headband. What's up, Miss T? What's up to you? Nathan Hampton, D Frequency, Triple Alpha, Juan Stockton, Blacksmith, Kewan Jackson. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep doing my best to tell the truth, just calling it like I see it. And really my goal is to also just to create a vibe for you guys, a space that we can all just kind of chill, vibe out, have good conversation. That's the goal. Kate Man P, you're coming in hot tonight, I see. Salute to you, Grape Tea News. Everybody go subscribe to Grape Tea News. Great channel, great current event topics, excellent content. T-Bone TMB. JSRL Padre, what's good? I agree, Grape Tea. Adam Silver is a horrible commissioner. God awful. He needs to be fired. He needs to be removed. I wish the board, the board of directors, the owners, somebody needs to vote him out. Something needs to happen. Hey, Thomas Clark. Top Christmas movies. Oh my gosh. I have so many. So I'm a huge fan of A Christmas Carol. So when I was a kid, probably like into like my early teens, probably like maybe till I was at least probably actually I was probably up till I was at least 18, maybe even in college. I used to watch 25 Days of Christmas on the Hallmark Channel. Sometimes when I get a chance, I go ahead and tune in, just any random movie. But growing up, I loved A Christmas Carol, and I would watch all the different versions of it. So, you know how Christmas Story plays for a marathon of 24 hours on Christmas Eve, and then in the morning at like 8 a.m., I think A Christmas Carol comes on, and it's the Flintstones version. So I actually love that cartoon version of A Christmas Carol, and there's another version of it called Mrs. Scrooge. It's this Black woman who, you know, she plays a Scrooge, and they take her through, you know, all the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and I love that movie so much. A Miracle on 34th Street, I love Christmas movies. Anyhow, our first topic of the night, guys, is Darvin Ham. Okay, and we're just gonna jump right in. I can't say it enough. Darvin Ham got his lick back. And the best part is that he won't even celebrate it. He won't even let his team celebrate or rest on their laurels. Not even a little bit. So this was the report. I'm gonna show it to you guys, and I'm gonna read a little bit for you. But here's the report. It's right here. So Darvin Ham, he advised Doc Rivers and convinced him to not celebrate. Darvin Ham told the team that they should not be celebrating the in-season tournament. Do not pop champagne. And in this side-by-side picture here, you're seeing last year's in-season tournament, the Lakers celebrating. Obviously, you're seeing LeBron James pop this bottle of champagne as if they won the fucking title. So Darvin Ham said, let's not pop champagne. This is not the title. They won the in-season tournament, and then the Lakers were a first-round knockout. That's embarrassing. That shows that you really didn't belong there, that you're a pretender. So Chris Haynes was the person that reported that, you know, the Bucks coach Doc Rivers told him after talking with Darvin Ham and his experience with the Lakers last season, they chose not to celebrate the Cup championship with dousing and drinking of champagne. They want to focus on the remainder of the season. I love it. I do. I honestly, I love it. He just continues to get his lick back. And for me, that's like a shot at the Lakers, a shot at LeBron James. It's a shot at the NBA and the commissioner like, "Hey, we don't take this seriously, but I'm here to clean up all the wins. So whatever's on the table for me to win, I'm going to take it. We're going to take that money too, but we're not celebrating. We don't think that this is real. This isn't a banner that we want to hang." Darvin Ham wants everyone laser focused on winning the championship this year. He knows the in-season tournament is a joke. He knows. He knows that it's just another way for Adam Silver to showcase his terrible decision making. But there was an entire room full of champagne, goggles, and accoutrements for the winners. But the Bucks did not partake. No, they did not partake in this celebration. Darvin Ham told everyone, don't you dare start pouring champagne as if you won the damn championship. This is small potatoes. Small potatoes. Don't get hype off of this win and start feeling yourselves. Get in the lab, get back to work. We won the in-season tournament. That's what we're supposed to do. Now let's keep going. Tomorrow is another day to win, not another day to rest, not another day to cry, not another day to complain. It's another day to win more games, and put ourselves in the best position to win the title. I love the tenacity for winning that Darvin Ham has. He wants the biggest game on the biggest stage, not the bullshit the Lakers were all happy about winning and hanging that weak-ass banner. That's not good enough for Darvin Ham. Because why would winning the in-season tournament be the only thing a winner like Darvin Ham would want to take home? He wants it all. Darvin Ham wants it all. He wants to win a title this year, and I believe the Bucks are in a position to do so, especially with Darvin Ham being part of their coaching staff. Bucks are a contender, and the Lakers are a bottom seed in the Western Conference, period. They're about dead last. They're like a game or two away from being dead last in the Western Conference. Darvin Ham, just in case people don't know, he's an NBA champion as a player. And he is a championship-winning coach with the Bucks, and he took the Lakers to the Western Conference Finals first season in the job. Then his second season in the job, he turns around and leads them to winning the bullshit NBA Cup as well. He's undefeated in the NBA Cup. JJ Redick isn't fucking with Darvin Ham at all. As far as I'm concerned, Darvin Ham is unfuckwittable. He gets fired from the Lakers and immediately makes an impact on a 1-9 Milwaukee Bucks team that struggled last year with Doc Rivers. Darvin Ham gets there, they're soaring. Darvin Ham was the missing piece that the Bucks needed. Like I said, JJ Redick isn't fucking with Darvin Ham at all. Are you kidding me? I can't believe that there'd even be a YouTube channel in sight that would possibly say anything other than Darvin Ham accomplished the most with the circumstances given to him. He did more with less. Why isn't that the narrative for a lot of these pro-Laker YouTube channels? Laker Nation's Trevor Ham, he discusses Darvin Ham's explosive interview earlier today with Anscape. He reads quotes from the interview and he gives his take on it. So I want us all to hear it, and then, I'll react.
There. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals, and then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries, and win both of your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about losing to Denver, working at an extension with what I did.
Sorry, guys. I'm
sorry. What Ham had to say in his interview with Anscape. He said, to do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else, I'm probably looking at an extension with what I did. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking actual facts. That's a classic Darwinism there. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals, and then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries, and win both of your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about losing to Denver, but they never talk about how we got to Denver. We beat a kick-ass young squad in Memphis, and we beat Golden State. And then Doc Rivers chimed in. I'm not going to go through the whole Lakers thing. I thought he got a tough deal there. So should Darvin have gotten an extension based on his performance with the Lakers? Now, Darvin had more to say about this. He said, to be 33-49 when I was hired with an unbalanced roster, turn that around, make it to the West Finals. The very next year, we were a plus 10 wins, going from 33 and 49 to 43 and 39, and guys got paid on my watch. It went from a lot of unknown scenarios to I think we have a little bit of a core. And then we got hit with the injury bug like crazy last season. We might have been top 5 in games lost due to injury. It's being reported like I'm just throwing some lineups up against the wall to see what sticks. No, man, we were navigating a lot from guys being hurt to having the oldest player in the league to navigating AD's injury history. It was just a lot. So on Darvin, saying he should that anywhere else he may have been given an extension. He may be right about that. Anywhere else he may be given an extension, but it's not anywhere else. It's different. It has to be different if you're a Laker. The expectations are simply higher. That's what you're signing up for. You become the coach of the Lakers. You put on a Lakers jersey. You become part of the Lakers organization, whatever capacity that's in. The expectations are going to be different than they are for the vast majority of the rest of the NBA. Yes, if you're coaching the Charlotte Hornets and you do those things, you're probably getting an extension. That's not the Lakers. That's not the Lakers. That's not the way that goes. So yeah, when he's talking about would I be getting an extension if I was with another club? Maybe. He might be. He may not be wrong about that. But that's not the bar that you're trying to clear if you are the Lakers coach, especially a Lakers team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, we've talked about this a lot at the time, said many, many times that, and I see there's a lot of, people coming in going, oh, I guess Darvin wasn't the problem based on how the Lakers have struggled right now. We said many times, Darvin Ham was not the only issue facing the Lakers. Getting rid of Darvin does not solve all of your problems magically. There are going to be problems that still persist with the Lakers. Was he a solution to the problems that you have? That was really the question. Was Darvin part of a problem here with the Lakers? Was he the problem? Was he not part of the problem at all? And ultimately, I don't think if you're trying to place all of the blame on Darvin Ham or none of the blame on Darvin Ham, it's accurate. I don't think that's an accurate way to look at things. I've talked about this a lot. There is plenty of blame to go around with what's gone on with the Lakers over the last few years. Plenty of blame that can go around. And if you're trying to deflect it from any one place, whether it's the front office, whether it's LeBron, whether it's AD, whether it's the role players, the coaching staff, wherever it is, if you are trying to shield one place from blame, you're wrong. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I think that part of the problem that Darvin Ham had with the Lakers, and part of the problem that I know it frustrated a lot of fans, frustrated some players as well, was that everything was something else. Darvin was never one to say, I messed that up. I needed to be better here. I needed to improve here. I think it's part of the reason why we hear that so often from JJ Redick. If you notice the things that JJ has done, a lot of it, and while the team has still struggled, a lot of it has been the opposite of what Darvin Ham has done. JJ looked at the things that Darvin did that got him into some hot water with the organization and with the fan base and all that, and he's kind of flipped that, right? And he's done. So he's been very quick to say, I need to be better here. I need to be better there. And I think that got to the players as well, hearing Darvin constantly, look, we've got the oldest player in the league. We're navigating ADs. It's all these problems. It's all these things with the players. Never saying, I should have run things a little bit differently. Maybe I should have run a defensive scheme that didn't yield the most wide open threes given up per game of any team in the NBA. That was Darvin Ham's defensive scheme, was giving up all of those wide open three-point attempts. And I'm not saying that Darvin did everything wrong either. Not saying he was this terrible coach, but to look at the situation and constantly put it on everything else and not take any moment to say, yes, some of that is on me, I think that frustrates players. I think that frustrates the organization as well, that he's not holding himself accountable in the situation, that he's going to instead deflect and put it onto everything else, which again, I see fans doing it, deflecting. Oh, see, it's not Darvin. Darvin's fine. None of it was on him. It's all on LeBron. It's all in the front office. It's all here. It's all there. And we see it in all aspects of sports. If somebody is a player-first fan, it's, oh, no. We're going to shield this player. This player's not to blame at all. It's because it's these guys. It's X, Y, and Z. It's just not an accurate way to look at things, in my opinion. You may disagree, and you can let me know in the comment section down below. But
where do we even start? So let me first just say shout out to Darvin Ham. Okay, we need to shout out Darvin Ham. I'm glad he's sticking up for himself. He hasn't really said much since his firing with the Lakers, and he's kept it totally classy in my opinion. I really love how he's carried himself. Trevor Lane from Laker Nation is absolutely right. There's a standard for the Lakers. I agree with him. The Lakers are the most storied franchise in NBA history. Of course, the standard is championship or bust, right? That makes sense to me. But, for some reason, these standards are too high or Laker fans have to accept excuses. And for me, it can't be every coach's fault. Trevor is making excuses for the Lakers. Of course, there's always blame to go around. Of course. It's just that the only people being held accountable are the coaches. And the coaching position, for some reason, and that service is no longer needed when the Lakers are doing poorly. The only portion of the problem that ever has any consequence is the coaching position. When the Lakers underperform year over year, how long does it take before players, coaches, and general managers get performance managed out of the organization? I'm sure once players start playing like shit, there's a process. You might bench them, you might rest them before trading them. You might have the come to Jesus conversation hoping for a change. Coaches, they might be warned and given a timeline. Hey, like you have this long before you will be fired if you don't get the team together in this time frame. Same thing with the GM or the president of the team. The problem with Trevor Lane's comments is not the standard that he's saying exists and not, the fact that there's a lot of pressure to be a part of the Lakers organization. That's not the problem. That's not wrong at all. It's the accountability. It's the accountability to those standards and who the accountability applies to. JJ Redick has been failing miserably. Darvin Ham got to the Western Conference in his first season. Mind you, after solving the Westbrook issue for the Lakers. Right now, JJ Redick is going to lead the Lakers out of the play-in. Another season of missing the playoffs. What problems has JJ Redick solved for the Lakers in the first quarter of the season? Darvin Ham was a difference maker instantly impacting the Lakers. We saw Russell Westbrook look like the sixth man out there after he was looking crazy as hell the season before with Frank Vogel. We saw them make a run to the Western Conference Finals. Incredible results. I don't want to hear about him not taking accountability. He owned it. He owned the decision to put Westbrook on the bench. He owned that decision. He didn't blame it on anybody. He made those decisions. He was responsible and he was accountable. And I have heard him take plenty of responsibility. I think that Trevor Lane is bullshitting us, gaslighting us, and trying to revise history, and I don't appreciate it at all. I really don't. These Laker channels must be paid by Clutch Sports. It's just disgusting. All Darvin Ham did as a head coach for the Lakers was stand on business. He told the truth. He was telling the truth out there. He didn't slam players. I never heard him do that. But I heard JJ Redick call out players like D'Angelo Russell specifically and Max Christie and the entire team's overall effort, attention to detail. Willingness to compete. But I never heard JJ Redick say, oh, in hindsight, I could have gone in a different direction. Trevor Lane is full of shit. Talking about Darvin Ham's defensive schemes are a joke to me. That's exactly what he specializes in, is defense. Who have the Lakers been able to guard? Who have they been able to stop? Please. LeBron, Austin Reeves, D'Lo, Dalton Connect. They can't stop anybody. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious, Trevor Lane. This is classic complexion protection. That's what this is. Complexion protection. JJ Redick has a 4-year deal with the Lakers, and he will be given 4 years to develop as a coach. Underperforming for as long as he has LeBron on the team. But he'll be given more chances than Darvin Ham. He'll be given the opportunity to develop this team, to develop as a coach. Darvin Ham was wrongfully terminated. Period. He needs to file a lawsuit for discrimination. Quite frankly, when you take a look at the Lakers' history, only Black coaches are fired with the quickness by the Lakers organization. There hasn't been a Black coach that has been with the Lakers for longer than 2 seasons. JJ Redick is under the protection complexion program, and it's alive and well because even the media is still calling him a genius, even though he hasn't been minding the game very well at all. Make it make sense. He doesn't seem ready for this job, for this moment. Not at all. Do you think that JJ Redick looks ready for the moment? Do you think that this is the guy that's going to lead the Lakers to a title? A drunk? JJ drunk face? JJ coke fiend? Look at him. He looks like he's doing lines every night during the game at halftime. We're barely a quarter through the season. This is who the Lakers have become. JJ Redick should have been fired already. If these standards are real, he should have been terminated, not constantly praised. There's a high standard to be the Lakers head coach, but the standards only apply and the accountability only apply to the Black coaches. I find that to be really interesting. Even Luke Walton was the head coach for 3 years. He was god awful. JJ Redick should have been fired already. He should have been fired, quite frankly, for these blowout losses that they've had with a supposed top 7 player in the league in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers have a serial loser leading them. They should be begging Darvin Ham to come back and help them win. But nope. They are doing what their master tells them to do and praising him post-game, saying things like, well, whatever JJ says goes. I'm riding with him, says LeBron James. The Lakers are bums, okay? Darvin Ham got his lick back and is about to win the title this year. Darvin Ham is about to be smoking on a Laker pack for real. But what do you guys think? Is Darvin Ham throwing shade to the Lakers and LeBron? Was Darvin Ham wrongfully terminated? I want to see what you guys are saying in the comments. JJ look crack fiend. You guys are so funny. Yeah, a lot of people forget about Luke, but he had 3 years. He had 3 years to do something. And I think he barely won 30 games. He didn't even average 30 games per season over a course of 3 years. Isn't that pathetic? At this point, Lakers can basically hire any with 0 NBA coaching experience. They might as well hire someone from Arby's. Yeah, they should just hire some, folks who, work in fast food restaurants. Who knows? Hire substitute teachers, anybody. Doesn't matter. I'll read one of our super chats that just came through. Killa KB8, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Salute to you. Luke, 3 years only. Vogel, 2 years. D'Antoni, 1 year. It's not a race thing. So it is. It is. Luke had 3 years. Vogel had 3 years. 2019, 2020, 2021. D'Antoni, I'm pretty sure he was there for 2 years. Maybe even more, but look up the list. And look, I'm not saying that a white coach can't get fired by the Lakers in a month or a year. What I'm saying is that there isn't one black coach that has lasted with the Lakers for longer than 2 years. None of them have been ever given an opportunity more than 2 years or more than whatever their contract was. And there's been no black coach besides Magic Johnson that had 0 experience coaching that had a job with the Lakers. So it is a race thing when you put someone who's unqualified in the role over qualified black people. I mean, Sam Cassell has been years as an assistant coach. He just won a title with the Celtics. Why didn't they hire him? Oh, I know, because he's interested in winning. That's why. So you're right. It's not just a black thing. It's not just a race thing, but race is a factor. It's not the only factor, but it is a factor. And sometimes it's not a factor that's in the front of someone's mind. Sometimes it's a factor that's in the back of your mind. That's what makes it typically a subconscious bias. But I understand, like, when race comes into play, it feels really exhausting. And it is exhausting. Imagine being discriminated against. That's pretty exhausting, isn't it? They got rid of Mark Jackson because he was too religious. Well, that was the Warriors, right? So Mark Jackson was fired from that role because he was, quote unquote, too religious. But if it was a certain kind of religion that, I don't know, 90% of the owners in the NBA subscribe to, would he have gotten fired? If he was going to the yeshiva, would he have been fired? If he was asking the players to go to the yeshiva, would he have been fired? Those are just the questions that sometimes we have to ask ourselves. Okay, guys. You're right. Sam Cassell was a winner. Absolutely. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. We talked about Darvin Ham. We talked about his, winning mindset. He didn't want to celebrate for the NBA Cup final. We talked about his wrongful termination. And it was a loaded conversation, I know. But I thought that it was a good one. I didn't even catch his interview earlier. Like I had no idea that he did this until like an hour before I was supposed to go live. So I incorporated this into the show tonight, and yeah, I'm really glad that he stuck up for himself. So in other news, Magic Johnson stopped by the show called Speak with Paul Pierce, Keyshawn Johnson, and Joy Taylor. And he had a lot to say, and it's always a joy when Magic Johnson comes through. I think you just get to talk to him about the history of the game and just get his take on what's happening. To me, when you talk to Magic Johnson, it's like almost like getting the state of the union, which I love. So, yeah, I mean, he spoke on the state of the Lakers and the general state of the NBA, and I thought it was an interesting discussion. So I want to play it for you guys as well, and then we'll react and take phone calls. I love Magic Johnson. I really do. Uh, I I respect a lot of his comments. I do. I felt him being very political in this particular clip. Out of what he said, I hope you guys heard him say that Bronny was not ready. Like, that's what he kind of like ended his comment on. You know, he said, yeah, it would be great if I could have gotten to play with my son. He's trying to like he's trying to throw LeBron an olive branch, because I mean, he went on a whole media tour trashing Anthony Edwards and this Bronny LeBron situation. He said that if he were Bronny, he would have told his father that he was not ready for the NBA and to put him in the G League. Like, he went scorched earth, I felt like, on LeBron. When he said that, he basically, spoke to his parenting, and just I know that he got a phone call. He got a phone call, and I think it was maybe a few days later, he completely did an about face saying that Bronny was gonna be a great player in this league. And, I don't know what it is, like, what happens when guys get that phone call. Like, are they being told, "Hey, like, Bronny's going through a rough time. We don't need you to pile on to the media criticism." Like, are they being made to feel bad? Or are they getting, like, a threatening kind of phone call? Like, "Hey, if you don't do this, I'm gonna pull out of this business arrangement." Or, like, I'm just wondering, how the strong arming looks. Is it like a gaslighting approach? Is it this gentle sort of parenting approach? I'm just so like, is it the victimhood? I have no idea what gets people to completely do a 360 from their real, true, honest comments that they made. I just find it to be so interesting. But what I do want to do is I want to read the super chats that we have, and then I want to open the phone lines for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. Do you think that Magic is assessing the Lakers correctly? The whole, like, he's still mad about DeMar DeRozan. He's still mad about DeMar DeRozan all these years later. And, sometimes, like, you think that there's one thing that could have happened that would have made such a big difference. And the truth of the matter is that as long as LeBron James is playing the style of basketball that he plays, you put somebody like DeMar DeRozan, who, he can do so much on the floor. It's crippling practically. It's practically crippling to oh no. But it's practically just like crippling to get that kind of you know, style of play mixing with someone who essentially fits into like DeMar DeRozan is kind of like a cog. He's like a cog in a wheel, and he fits into a system. Okay. So let me read the super chats, and then I will put the phone line up, and then I would love for you guys to call in. But let me get through the super chats first. Sports Facts, salute to you for the $4.99 super chat. JJ's only real qualification is running of screens. If that. L Nice, salute to you. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Super sticker. Thank you so much. I don't really understand the difference. Like, So a super sticker is just that. It's like a sticker that you're throwing up there. I never really understood that, but thank you. Really appreciate it. Red Rider BB Gun 4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Really, guys, I appreciate it. Salute to you all. Let me go ahead and I will put up the phone line for you guys to call in. Okay. I would love for calls to be on the shorter end, about a minute or so. Caller from, is it Rhode Island? Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice. I don't. I'm gonna just turn my phone off and reset it. And hold on, guys. I think there's too many people calling in, and it's like just creating too much interference. So 1 second, guys. So I just, just to go over some quick ground rules. If we cannot be beeping in when someone's on the phone, it just makes it for like a smoother experience for everybody. I know it probably sounds really annoying when there's a bunch of beeping happening. So what we'll try to do is we'll keep the calls to a minute and just try to, I want people's voice to be heard. But yeah, I'm just going to reset my phone and then we can get back to the calls. They are a lot of fun. Just give me a second. Okay, we should be back in action. So you guys can go ahead and call in. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. I can hear you now. I'm so sorry about earlier. Who do I have on the line? Nice to hear from you, Brian. Talk to me nice. Okay.
Started trading all the young players. He let Julius Randle walk for nothing. He and all of a sudden our team is not good enough, so we need to go trade for AD. He got rid of Zubac, who's been playing great and who was playing great for the Lakers, and got rid of him for a guy that could shoot threes that never made it on the team. So as far as Magic goes, I'm really not impressed with him, and I don't respect his opinion when it comes to the Lakers, because he just came in and, we went through a lot of struggles getting those players on our team, going through a lot of losing seasons to get those lottery picks. Those picks were protected by Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak. So we didn't have to turn those over because they were lottery picks. So we ended up with 4 consecutive lottery picks. And then we had good role players that came at the end of the first round, like Zubac, Kuzma, and Josh Hart. So, bringing LeBron, who was too old for those guys and claimed he didn't want to be a babysitter, I just thought that they just ruined our whole window. Now we don't have any talent on our team.
It's hard for me to blame Magic Johnson for that. There were decisions that were happening behind his back. So Jeannie made him the GM, but really he was just the face. So they let him be the face of that role, but he wasn't actually making decisions in that role. And that's why he quit the role. So he wound up quitting because Rob Pelinka was backstabbing him and undercutting him. And so when you have situations like that happening, we can't really, I can't give Magic Johnson a grade because he wasn't being treated fairly in the position. So,
I do know that he wanted to fire Luke Walton, and he got a lot of pushback, as far as the complexion protection on him, because when he went to go fire Luke Walton, he couldn't do that.
And that is exactly what I was about to get to. So,
Right.
you know, the
But
fact that he
the
wasn't
trade
able,
moves,
he didn't have, so like you're saying that you're saying that he couldn't make that decision, but he could make all this player movement. We don't really know. I'm sorry, but I can't. If someone is put in a position and they're at every turn told, "Hey, no, actually, you're not going to be able to make this decision, even though this isn't within the scope of your job." So I don't believe that Magic Johnson had all of the power in that position and in that role. I believe that he was navigating through a lot of different politics, and since he's left the Lakers, he's been soaring. He's somebody with 15 championship rings. He's somebody who is an owner in multiple franchises, making decisions. So, you know, I find that I'm not willing to grade him as a Lakers GM. I'm just not, because he was undercut.
well, I agree with the Luke Walton thing, but as far as the other decisions, I got to put it on him, because it started with him trading Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance to Cleveland the year prior. So, you know, he was there. I know about the friction with Rob Pelinka and the backstabbing. I'm well aware of all that. And I'm aware of the Luke Walton situation. But the player movement, I don't know if I could hold him blameless for that. I just
I
can't.
don't think
'Cause he
anybody's
was
blameless, right? In a relationship,
right.
especially a working relationship, there's ownership, right? There's ownership to go all around, and I'm sure that he could have made some better decisions. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has opportunity. So I'm sure that there was an opportunity for Magic Johnson to get better, even in his communication of how his role was going. I'm sure he could have done things differently as well, differently enough to still be a part of the organization. As far as, you know, from a GM perspective, I don't know. But
Right.
I don't think that he was treated fairly in his role. I think that Rob Pelinka has been placed on a pedestal, and I think that he's done a lot worse in the position than Magic Johnson did.
Well, I don't hold Rob Pelinka. He's the one that made the AD trade, so you know he gets the blame for that. I felt they should have waited until AD became a free agent, because then we could have traded Brandon Ingram. If we were going to trade those guys, we could have traded them and got picks back or other players, and we would have more depth today. It's just that blowing all of our assets to get AD, because that also cost
What
us a
about blowing? But
2019.
what about blowing
Go
the?
ahead.
What about the picks and all of that you guys gave up for Russell Westbrook? That wasn't
We
Magic.
gave up one. No, that was Rob Pelinka. Yeah, so I blame him as well. So yeah, Rob Pelinka, they gave up one
I think
pick
that
for
he's
Russell Westbrook.
underperformed more. I just think he's underperformed much more. I
Well,
really
he
do.
gets every since Magic left. Yeah, the Rob Pelinka gets the blame for the AD trade, which you know a lot of people like that. I didn't like it, like I said, but you know, letting Julius Randle walk for nothing, that was definitely on Magic's watch, and trading Zubats was definitely on Magic watch as well. So you know, the front office to me as a whole, Rob and Pelinka, you know, they traded in 15 years of a window of competing, you know, to win now with LeBron, and it hasn't turned out to be that great because we don't have any talent now, and we don't have any more picks. And Westbrook also cost us a pick to get rid of him, a first round pick. So we spent a first round pick to get Westbrook and a first round pick to get rid of him. So, and then in the AD trade, we got rid of a first round pick that was the number 4 2019 pick. And that could have been Darius Garland or DeAndre Johnson. So we don't have any talent. We don't have anything left. That's why our team is so bad on the back end. After LeBron and AD, we really don't have any talent to speak of.
I hear you. I do. I'm just, again, I'm not. I just can't. I can't blame Magic for his time in that position while he was the Lakers GM. I just don't. I'm not going to. I don't believe that he was responsible for his decisions. But I really do appreciate you calling, Brian from California. But
Of course.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
I really enjoyed your takes.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Caller from California, thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice.
Hey, Ms. Dom, how's it going?
Hey, Kelly, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's a good night, but I'm glad to see that you still made it live tonight.
Yeah, I know I was late, but better late than never, I guess, right? So tell me, what do you think? And you'll be the last phone call that we take before moving on to the next topic. But what do you think about Magic Johnson's assessment of the Lakers and the state of the NBA currently?
On a side note, your phone or your mic sounds really good. Sounds really clear tonight. So that's a good thing.
Oh, I'm so glad. That was part of why I was late. I just really wanted to make sure that like everything was perfect for you guys. So I just my goal is to really just get better each time. So thank you all for hanging in there with me through my technical difficulties and sound issues. But like I said, I got this new system that I was so excited to use, and I'm a million years old when it comes to technology. But thanks for your patience. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah. Yeah, the mic is super, like this is the clearest I've ever heard you on one of these phone calls.
Well, thanks.
But anyways, to get to your question, I agree with you that Magic was, talking, politically, he was dancing around questions, not exactly speaking his true thoughts because, he's on national TV and doesn't want to come off as a quote unquote hater, So there were some things I did
Yeah.
agree with and some that I didn't.
Exactly. I feel like he's spoken sort of half truths. I think I saw someone say that in the comments as well. Like he completely, to me, like lost all credibility when he was, essentially saying this crap about Bronny being a great basketball player and whatever else he was saying after he just trashed them all, saying that, he needed to go to the G League and stay there. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you know, I I have so much of an affection for Magic Johnson. I just think he's one of the most endearing players. I loved watching him when I was younger, and I was really sad when when he came down with his diagnosis and wound up retiring from the league. But he really is just a joy. Since he's been retired and just everything that he's been able to accomplish as a basketball player and as a businessman. So, I really appreciate Magic Johnson a lot.
Yeah, outside of talking about the current Lakers, I love hearing Magic Johnson too, whether it's the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, or the 80s. Like, I enjoy hearing his perspective and his his takes on basketball and his basketball knowledge. I agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome. Did you have anything to say about Darvin Ham? Did you feel like he was wrongfully terminated, or did you think that him not wanting to celebrate the NBA Cup was shade towards the Lakers and LeBron James?
Oh yeah, I did want to talk about the from yesterday's topic about the Bucks and all that because there's a lot to dive into, but that's okay. But no, I do think Darvin was wrongfully terminated, but I also like his attitude. He says like we don't need no champagne, we don't need none of that bullshit. Like this is this is just a mid season. The game didn't even count. The championship game doesn't even count towards the record. So it's just like he knows what it is, the big picture and all that. So that was definitely a
Absolutely.
boss.
I'm with you.
And then I wanted to say one last thing that came up in your audio clip.
Sure.
So I heard, Keyshawn, he was talking about, the Lakers want to make a trade. And we talked about this and Shannon Sharp, they're asking for a trade already. Look at that. You gotta stop bitching right now. It's like you have the best two-way player in the game right now. And Anthony Davis, he's got the best balance of defense and offense, in my opinion, in the game right now. You have 18-point per game scorer from last season as your third option, and you have a 16-point per game scorer as your fourth option. How many teams can say that? In the last 8 teams involved in the second round last year, the playoffs, was the only one that could say that was the Boston Celtics. All the other 7 can't say that their third option could scored 18 or more. So I'm just getting tired of the excuses. Quit relying on the trade and figure it out. Stop
I'm
pitching.
with you. They
That's
have
all I
more.
gotta
They
say.
have more than enough pieces on their team. They have to stop crying about help and needing more help and needing more help. I mean, look at the Bucks and Giannis. I mean, Chris Middleton. He's basically a paraplegic out there. He's of no value to Giannis anymore.
I'm a fan of Chris Middleton. I can't say that. He's missed a lot of time, though. I agree. Yeah, he's missed a lot of time.
not a fan. I'm just saying that he's so beat up, he's so injured that he's just not. He's not really available to play. He looks like. I watched him the other night. It wasn't obviously he wasn't available for the Cup final, but he looks like a shell of himself out on the floor. And I know he's ramping up and trying to. He's on a minutes restriction, but all I'm saying is he's not really contributing very much for Giannis. And he is a big critical piece to their team and the chemistry. And, he just has a really, like, him and Giannis together, they were a beautiful combination. And him not being available, Giannis is figuring it out. He's trying to utilize the teammates that he has to win. And that's what it's all about. It's about winning. It's about figuring it out. It's about, doing more with less sometimes. And that, to me, that's where you make your bones as a player. It's not about what you did when everything is perfect. It's about what you do in the hard times when you're faced with adversity. How do you rise above? How do you triumph over adversity? And I think that that's something that a lot of players today in this league struggle with. I think it's something that people, they fold. I've never seen anything like it. In today's league, these players they lay down and they fold. They switch up really quickly too. They have no loyalty. There's no honor in this game anymore. But Giannis, he has a lot of integrity. I think that he brings integrity to the sport as far as just hard work, being loyal to an organization and to your teammates, and and I think that he's taken on a different attitude. He's learned his lesson from what he's done with prior coaches. And he's really, really bought into to Doc Rivers and to Darvin Ham. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Giannis for his growth mentally and just, yeah, I think that he's a great example. I think more people need to look to him. And yeah, I'm excited for what he's going to do this season and accomplish.
Yeah, I like Giannis too, and I like I have some some criticisms about him, but at least we can say he leads by example. He's a two-way player.
Right.
You gotta lead by example. Whether it's SGA, he plays defense too. Maybe not an all NBA defender, but he leads by example. So does JT and JB. A lot of these guys, you gotta lead by example, and then that motivates and that'll inspire your teammates to go out there and lay it all on the floor. As opposed to what's going on with the Lakers.
Very true. Well, Kelly, thank
All
you
right,
so
Miss
much for your
Dom, I'll let
call.
you get back to the show for
I
sure.
appreciate you. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call, Miss Dom. Enjoy the rest of
Alrighty.
your show.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Caller from Canada. Talk to me nice.
Hey, what's up, Dominique? How you doing? It's Khalil.
Hey, Khalil. What's shaking?
Not a thing, man. Just up late. And I saw you were on, so I said, hey, let me listen to the show. Great show as always.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. I have one question for you before we move on to the next topic. Do you think that Magic Johnson assessed the Lakers correctly?
I agree with you. He was being a bit politically nice, PC, because he's a lifelong Laker, so we can't, tell the full truth. But yeah, he had it right with his assessment of, the DeRozan trade was pretty much done, and LeBron came in and played GM and wrecked shop and does what he always does. But yeah, he's being a bit kind. I didn't listen to the full clip, but I don't know what he was talking about with the coaching situation. But I agree with your previous assessment in regards to JJ getting a huge pass. I don't know what it is. I don't know what type of deal he made with the league and anybody else, but like Frank Vogel won them a chip, and he got what, 2 years? So I don't see
Frank
the
Vogel
reason
was the
now
coach for 3 years. Yeah.
He was coach for 3 years. 3 years, okay.
From 2019 until Darvin Ham came in 2022.
Yeah, I don't know what everybody sees in JJ. I really don't. You can talk a good game, but like Doc said, I hope he gets the job, because then he's gonna have to see what it is in real time to coach people, and have to motivate them. Drawing up plays on a clipboard doesn't mean shit if you can't get these guys to motivated to play and buy in, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think Frank Vogel might have been there for 4 years, because he started in 2019. He started in 2019. He got fired in 2022. He got fired after the 2022 season, because they won the title in 2020.
That was the year after.
Then 2021, they were a first round knockout, and then 2022 they missed the playoffs with Frank Vogel. So he was 4 seasons with the Lakers.
Yeah, that's right. He got his full tenure, right? Because it was a 4-year deal he had.
Yeah. And so after, I guess Jeannie Buss, she didn't want to do long-term deals anymore. But it's interesting because, again, JJ Redick, I believe, is on a 4-year deal.
Good luck with that. That team is trash for the next. That team is. There's no maneuvering that Rob Pelinka can do to undo this mess. I actually, when he took over, when she won the family dispute and got control of the rings, I was like, oh, thank goodness. But now I'm actually starting to think her brother might not have been he couldn't be doing worse. He couldn't be doing worse. So this is, they double down in the LeBron sweepstakes. So, he's there until he decides to retire, until he finishes stat padding. But,
I agree with you. I'm with you. But I really do appreciate you calling. I am going to jump to our next topic of the night. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Keep it up. Great show.
Thank you so much. Okay. Salute to you too, Ticket. Thanks for being here. Guys, if you don't go ahead and subscribe to Ticket's channel, you're missing out. I'm telling you, he calls the games the best. He has the most current sport news, as well as all different kinds of current events. So go over there and subscribe to Ticket TV and Ticket live streams, both really great channels. Hey, Malik, I'm trying to jump to the next topic. I got a minute.
Okay, how you doing, Don?
I'm good, but I'm trying to get to this Adam Silver topic. So, okay, what do you think?
Hold on, let me set the...
Yeah, I think there's something. Can you mute your TV in the background for me?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, awesome. So what do you think? Did Magic assess the Lakers correctly?
Yes, I think he did. I think what Magic not saying, I don't think it's the fact about Bronny or LeBron. I think what he's not saying that he should have said even when he had the position and then he quit, it's Pelinka that's the problem. He need to go. Because when y'all say things like, well, when LeBron had this player come here and that player come here, which I never agree with. I think Pelinka is the one that it's his job to do that. So even if it was true that LeBron James did it, then that too showed that he needs to be fired. What do they need him for? When it goes good, they say Pelinka did it. When it go bad, Bronny did it. So I think Magic is holding that back. That's what he really needed to say. I believe that's why he resigned from the position he had, because Pelinka was calling the shot. And Pelinka is horrible. I think Darvin Ham was a pretty good coach. I didn't like his rotations that much. But even with him, I don't think LeBron James got him fired. I believe they got him fired. I think Jeannie Buss need to be forced to sell a team. She act like she don't want to win. Why would you play this team? They forcing AD to play center when he really want to be power forward, but they won't get a legitimate center. They won't get to play. They pick up these players who can score, hit 3 points once in a while. They don't do like other teams. They get legitimate 3-point shooters. Why don't Pelinka do that? They act like they trying to keep the Lakers from winning games. I don't understand that.
Hold on, Malik. So I want to stop you because I don't know. There's some kind of like frequency in your background, but I have to stop you because you don't think that the Lakers, that Rob Pelinka has given LeBron and the Lakers legitimate 3-point shooters?
No. These guys ain't no legitimate 3-point shooters.
Can I ask you, what was Taurean Prince?
For how much time did he play? Even him during that tenure, he wasn't hitting threes like that.
Do you know that Taurean Prince was like, I think 30% from 3 when he played for the Lakers, and now he's playing for the Bucks, who just won the NBA Cup, and he's shooting over 50% from 3-point land.
Well, if he was shooting 50% playing with the Lakers, then I'll say he was doing it. If he was shooting 30%, then I'll go get
Malik, why do you think that he's not shooting well when he plays with the Lakers versus the Bucks? What do you think is the difference there?
The rotation wasn't right. None of that was set right. I know you want to blame it on LeBron James, but it ain't LeBron James' fault. LeBron James came to LA. They got a title. Nobody want to give him credit. All the other guys that was in that class that didn't want to play with the Lakers for whatever reason they said it, he the only one got a championship. And people keep saying, well, it's within the bubble. Well, wasn't every other team that played in the bubble? They act like LeBron James was in the bubble and everybody else played outside the bubble. They played there too. They can win again, and they will if they get the right parts for the team. They're not doing that. You got to give them credit, and you can't think that everybody that don't agree with you that say LeBron James is this bad guy. I agree with Magic, and it's not casting no shade because he say Bronny would do good if they put him in the G League where he at for about a year, and next year he thinks he'll be a better player. I do too. But Bronny is the 55th pick. The number 1 pick for that same draft ain't doing too much. He added 10 points. He's number 1. So no, I think y'all just be too hard on LeBron James, and it makes you blame everything on him, and it's his reason. But everywhere he went, he won championship, and he wasn't the first one with no super team. Plenty teams draft or pick up people traded to get him. Even Michael Jordan, he never won before he got Scotty, and he never won after him and Scotty broke up. Talk about that. We just want to say he went to 6 championships and he won 6, but 9 times he ain't won nothing. So stop hating on him. And the Lakers will, I think, if they make the picks now, and I'll close on this point. Are you still there?
I'm here, Malik. I'm listening to you. I'm waiting for when it's my turn to respond.
Okay, I'm gonna close on this point. As bad as you and Mel and everybody who don't like LeBron James say how bad they doing, it's only one team in the West, OKC, that's doing really good with the 5 losses. Other than that, the team with the second best team only got 3 more wins. three less losses in the loss column than the Lakers. Lakers got 12 losses. Those teams got at least 9. Everybody else got at least 9. All the rest of them bundled right around there with the Lakers. And it's a lot of games left. They pick up the right people. The Lakers will be there again. And with LeBron James and AD, I think they're going to win another one if they get a center. And I do like the guys they got as far as 3-point shooting, but they have to know that y'all not no legitimate three. So if they play at teams, go where they need to go and hit some shots, they still can win because AD and LeBron James are still two of the best players in the league. I'd rather listen to anything you want to say.
So I want to point out to you that the Lakers have had a center before. They had a center. They killed that relationship with Dwight Howard. You saw how Anthony Davis treated him during a game when he was just trying to tell Anthony Davis to pick it up a little bit or whatever he was trying to tell him. And then I think the fact that you would even dare to compare Michael Jordan's losing to LeBron's losing, I think is very interesting. I'm almost hard pressed to even answer it because the topic is Magic Johnson. Do we agree with how he's assessing the Lakers? But I do want to address that point just because, yeah, Michael Jordan lost 9 times. He has never had a meltdown. He has never had a bad series. Michael Jordan has never had one bad playoff round. Never. Maybe he's had a bad game, but he never melted down in a game. I've never seen that, ever. He might have missed the last shot, but he was never afraid to take it.
He missed more last shots.
He missed a ton of shots. He'll be the first person to admit it. I think he knows the exact, he told us the number of missed shots that he had. But, you'll miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And so Michael Jordan and LeBron James are not comparable. I don't even know why we're talking about Michael Jordan in this moment. But again, we're talking about LeBron. We're talking about the Lakers. Really, we're talking about Darvin Ham, the fact that he didn't deserve to be fired. We're talking about Magic Johnson and his assessment of the Lakers, who they could potentially get to make their team better to help them win games. But I do really appreciate your call, Malik. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to hear from you.
They could still get somebody like Dwight Howard because he'd be hanging around in the Lakers stadium, sitting front row.
Yeah,
He still
I think
won a
it would
shot.
have been fitting for them to treat him properly the first go round. But I am going to move on to the next topic. I want to get folks to bed. I know it's a very stressful holiday season. People have work in the morning, so I want to move on to the Adam Silver topic. Okay.
All right, you have a good one.
You too.
I'll call you again.
Yes, thank you for your phone call. You call in anytime, okay?
All right.
All righty. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. We are moving. We are moving and grooving. We talked about a lot of things tonight. I feel really good about, the flow, how everything is going. Magic Johnson topics can, I know that they can go for a long time. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I know it's a late night. It's already 2:00 in the morning, my time. So, we talked about, we've been talking about the mindset of winners, right? Like Darvin Ham, Magic Johnson, and they've shared some of their opinions about like what's happening in the NBA, why the ratings have declined, the state of the NBA, the state of the union, essentially, right? But guess who's finally decided to weigh in on all of this? The person who's actually responsible, Adam Silver. He finally weighs in on all of the chatter. He makes a lot of excuses and he sort of like shrugs it off. So I'm going to read to you from an article that I pulled earlier today. You know, Adam Silver, he's sharing his opinion on why NBA ratings are down. He discusses the declining NBA ratings, and just like what his plan is and what his vision is. And just as I mentioned last night, he's power hungry. It's all about ego and control and being the person to put their stamp on some sort of change. So, you know, he says, like, if you look at the data points in terms of our business, for example, we've just come off the last 2 seasons of the highest attendance in the history of this league. We're at a point where our social media audience is at the highest of any league and continuing to grow exponentially. So it's not a lack of interest in this game. We're almost at the inflection point where people are watching more programming on streaming than they are in traditional television. And it's a reason why our new television deals, which will enter into next year, every game is going to be available on a streaming service. And as we move to streaming service, putting aside how the actual game is played on the floor, it's going to allow us from a production standpoint to do all of the kinds of things that you can't do through traditional television. All kinds of new functionality, all kinds of new options and screens that are available. The vast majority of people consume us through media, not in person. So we have to pay a lot of attention. Something that was so Adam Silver makes 2 critical points here out of everything that he's saying, and the last thing that I'm gonna share with you guys, I think is the most important. He says, "Silver also highlighted the NBA's plans for international growth, including exploring the possibility of a Europe-based league in partnership with FIBA. While no concrete decisions have been made, Silver sees an opportunity to elevate basketball's profile and commercial potential in Europe." So again, like, people have been doing nothing except complaining about the injection of, you know, foreign players because it doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel like it's being done in a way where they actually have the athleticism, the skill to boot to actually play in this league. So, like I've been telling you guys and telling you guys on my channel for several weeks now, that the NBA has always been obsessed with the foreign market. They've always been obsessed with the European market. And they are planning they are planning to essentially, the reason why there's so much of a focus is because they want this partnership with Europe. They want to have they want to have an entire European-based league. So if they start featuring these athletes here and making them just as big as household names as they can with American players, then it's only going to give them more credibility when they enter into this partnership for a European-based league. So what I've been saying about sort of phasing out American players has been true. But another thing that I feel like was sort of thinly veiled was the fact that he said, as we move to streaming service, putting aside how the actual game is played on the floor. How do you put aside how the actual game is played? That's just like, it's a tertiary thing for Adam Silver. He does not care about the product that's on the floor. That's what he just said. That statement reads to me, we're just going to put this aside. The product that I'm delivering, the product that I'm giving fans, but that doesn't matter. We don't need to consider that. It's all about streaming and how people are consuming the sport now. And he says, I mean, he clearly says the vast majority of people consume us through media, not in person. So we have to pay a lot of attention. He's fine with people not actually watching. That's what he's saying. He's fine with people going to Instagram and catching a highlight reel. He does not care about the actual product. He doesn't care about ratings because they're basically I don't want to say the NBA is borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, but they are in a way. He wants to implement the revenue sharing system just like how the NFL has, where every team has, basically equal money so that nobody's at a disadvantage financially. Which I think is a good and a bad thing because the NBA has, I don't know. I just don't think that the franchises that operate successfully and work really hard at being a good organization should have to carry organizations who don't. So, I'm torn about that. And I think it also takes away from pride of ownership, your ability to run your business and your ability to make decisions for that business. Adam Silver wants total and complete control. He's taking away owners' pride of ownership, their ability to create a business plan and execute it. So he wants owners to own, but they're really just more like investors. They're not owners. They're not business owners. They're not business drivers because he needs to be the mastermind behind it all. Ego and control. He's egomaniacal, just like Clutch Sports, just like LeBron James. No wonder why they both came into existence the same year. Unbelievable. Magic Johnson, as he, in the same time frame that he sat down with Speaks, the Speak Show with Paul Pierce, Joy Taylor, and Keyshawn Johnson, he talked about why NBA ratings are as bad as they are and just what he really feels. And I felt like he was being as transparent as he possibly could be. And I'm going to play that for you guys now. Okay. Rivalries. I mean, there's no competition, so why would there be a rivalry? Rivalry? Never heard of her. Guys get sensitive about commentary in the media. They're concerned about what someone said and how it made them feel. They are, like, quite frankly, more worried about their outfits on the runway through the tunnel. They're worried about what purse they're gonna wear that night and painting their nails. They're more worried about that than they are playing basketball. I mean, can the women have anything? Let the WNBA players use the tunnel as a runway. Why are they playing more competitively than the men? That's likely why ratings have dropped as well. Men have the ability to fly through the air in ways that women physically can't. So why would they settle for playing the women's sport? Seriously. I'm not just like trolling. The men are barely jumping when they shoot, barely ever dunking the ball. They also talked about playing all 82 games. Like, come on, guys, load management. Why is that even a thing? If you love playing basketball, why aren't you on the damn floor? The NBA has no strong leader to reach back and lift other NBA players or at the very least inspire them to be greater and to work harder. There's no strong leader in the NBA that's influencing everyone's work ethic and their level of like willingness to compete. No one is doing that right now, and some people are just pretending. So this brings me to our last topic, Kobe Bryant. And it's kind of a funny topic. So it's not as serious as, you guys might think, but salute to Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. Last of the just the guy that winning one time isn't enough. He had to keep winning. He had to keep competing. He truly loved the game. He was always on the floor. But I want to take you guys back to a little like a flashback. And, you know, obviously to me, Kobe Bryant was the last guy that galvanized the entire NBA and really pushed people to be better. He was tough as nails, and he didn't settle or reduce his standards or the bar that he set for greatness. That was Kobe Bryant. So, like I said, this topic is kind of funny, but I want you guys to hear from Lou Williams, okay? He's talking about the situation with Nick Young, better known as Swaggy P, and D'Lo. You know, D'Lo the snitch. So let's hear it.
When Nick and D'Lo were going through their thing, it was a lot of tension. They really wanted to have a fight. They really wanted a problem. Like Nick couldn't even come around, and so we finally got them to get in the same room and have a conversation. And D'Lo is going through his whole thing. Yo, I apologize. Cole walks clean through the meeting, says, "Hey man, cut all this kumbaya shit. We got." It just squashes the meeting, and everybody looked around like, "Well, let's get ready to play basketball." He walked clean through it. Man, cut all that kumbaya shit out, man. We got a game to play. But that's how he was.
That was Kobe.
So I detailed how he was, how he tripped out in Portland on everybody. He went down the line and told every single player in that locker room what was wrong with them. And he was dead serious. And he said, from this point on, y'all gonna know what it's like to play with Kobe being fucking Bryant. I never forget that.
Yeah. R.I.P. Kobe. A real one. It's crazy because I still can't believe that D'Lo did that sucker shit to Nick Young like that. D'Lo, he'll forever be a snitch in my eyes. But like, what's funny about this is that we all remember Kobe Bryant snitching on Shaq. It was like completely disgraceful, but he owned it like a man, and he apologized in private to Shaq, and he also apologized in public, admitting that he was wrong for that. He even, you know, and that resurfaced when this whole thing resurfaced. That situation with Shaq and Kobe resurfaced, and he spoke on it again. And, you know, he sounded even more just like mature and, you know, just recognizing that mistake. I mean, D'Lo looks like he's a snitch, and he proved it once he helped get Darvin Ham fired. He still is just a sneaky, slippery, slimy, you know, snitch ass person. He lined up Darvin Ham, and now look at him. He's on the bench. He's coming off the bench. Max Christie is getting more minutes than him. When they pull Bronny back up from the G League, you know he's going to be starting, right? Darvin Ham got his lick back. He got his lick back from so many people, and this season isn't even halfway through. But anyway, Kobe didn't give a damn about that meeting. And, you know, me personally, I can relate to him as it pertains to that. And I can relate to him because when I'm at work, when I hear my team having non-business critical conversations, that's what I call them, I get really annoyed. I like to laugh and I like to joke. I'm not like some kind of, it's not about being like a slave driver. It's just that, like, let's say if you're not winning, there's nothing to be joking and kikiing about. If your work isn't finished, if you're not functioning at a high level at work, then there's no reason to be having irrelevant conversations. If it's not a basketball conversation, Kobe Bryant didn't want to hear it. And I felt that. Let's go win this game and shut the hell up. All this round table shit is soft. Recording your teammate is wrong, and he snitched, period, the end. He's always going to be a snitch, no matter what, no matter what disguise he has, the blonde locks, you know, different hair, whatever he's going to do. You're still a snitch. But what do you guys think? Why did Kobe Bryant break up the meeting? What's your opinion on this? Call in. I have time for one phone call, guys. We're going to take one phone call on this topic, maybe two, and I'll read some comments. Thank you for calling Sports T. Talk to me nice, T-Bert.
What's up, Dom? One is good. One is good. I'm good with one call.
You're ready to go to bed?
It's 5:25 here, but the callers are enjoying your show so much. So cool. I'm rocking out with y'all. You know, it's all good. I'll get some sleep after this. And I kept spamming in the chat like, yo, don't call no more. Please don't call no more. While, especially when people on the line don't ring in. Be courteous. That just made them even call more. I just gave up. They won.
Oh my God.
So I had to call in Kobe. I had to call in for
Of
Kobe.
course you did. So what do you think? Why did Kobe Bryant break up this meeting?
Because Kobe is the GOAT. He's the second GOAT of all time. That's just Kobe being Kobe. He ain't got time for all this, you know, they in there, they come in the NBA doing college stuff. Like, oh, cheating on this girl, you cheating on this girl. Then it's one person snitching and taking pictures. That's that new era stuff. You recording somebody cheating. Like, Kobe, like, I ain't got time for that. We at work. And when we at work, we here for business.
Right.
Whether y'all like each other or not. We got a war to go out there and fight. You don't gotta like each other to go to war, but let's go to war together. I ain't got time for all that college stuff. So, you know, I think Kobe just being that assassin. He assassin with the in his hand or without. He just Kobe, he just a Mamba. And everybody in the chat, second greatest player of all time. That's me. It's my opinion. Well, that's my fact. That's how much I stand on. That's my fact. I don't have an opinion on that. Kobe, second greatest player all the time.
I like the pick. You know, obviously he's not top 2 for me, but I love Kobe Bryant. I think he's just one of the greatest legends in our sport, and we're not going to see players built like him anymore. I think those days are over.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely over. It's definitely over because it's not a lot of players with that mentality. The closest one that has it is the Greek freak, Giannis. He got it. Like, you know, you could tell he studied Kobe, he watched Kobe. He you know, I don't know about on the court, but he definitely watched him off the court because he don't have none of Kobe's moves. Like nothing. He got that Kobe mentality. And he's the only one with the Kobe mentality that has the Kobe mentality left that can actually possibly win a chip. Because I think Westbrook got it. Absolutely. I'm not a fan of Westbrook's game, but I'm a fan of his intangibles and his heart, his motor, and you know, they got it. But these guys are going to be out the door soon, and it's just the legacy that Kobe left. That Mamba mentality, leave it all on the court, give it your all the time, is dead and gone. It died with Kobe. Kobe died, and what happened? Load management start. We taking days off just because we don't want to play back to backs. God forbid we play an ounce of defense. Oh, I don't care if my man scored 40 on me. Wait, what? I don't know. And you know what? I'll be honest with you, Dom. I probably haven't watched a basketball game in weeks. Like I told you the other day, I missed the cup, the stupid cup thingy. I missed that too. Like basketball is just so trash. It's just
You know what though, T-Bert? Like, you know, I only want to stop you just because basketball is not trash. The game is not trash. You love it, you play it, and you were so like you were laser focused and dialed in, locked in to WNBA.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a game.
Nope.
So, basketball is not bad. It's just what's happening in the NBA right now is bad. The players' mindset is bad. You would think that their paychecks would motivate them and they'd want to be delivering the best product, but instead they're being Hollywood. They're being, like, I don't know. Honestly, there's just so many problems and issues to unpack. There's not a clear-cut answer because the players, they deserve the money. It's just going to be the owners that get it. So why shouldn't they be paid? They should get, I think they should get as much money as they possibly can. I just wish that they had
Absolutely.
I just wish that there was more integrity in the sport where there's money, there's power and greed that comes into play. And I just wish that we had more. I wish we had a more pure sport. That's all.
Let me say I agree. Thanks, Dom, because you're right. Basketball is not trash. It's the way that they're playing it. Thanks for I was being a Debbie Downer, but I mean
Well, it's
they are
NBA.
breaking me.
NBA
They
is trash.
they are
That's how you feel
breaking. They
about
are
it.
they are breaking me down, Dom. I can't remember my whole life. I haven't went 2 weeks while the season in session where I didn't watch a game. They are breaking me down. But let me just say this on the Adam Silver thing. You and I have talked about the why the league is down. I've been thinking more and more about it. We all know the analytics and why it's down, but here's something else. The reason why it's down because it's not special anymore, right? What made it's a lot of things to make basketball special, but the 3-point shot used to be a special shot, right?
Right.
It's not special anymore. It's normal. So just think about things in life, right? Like, let's say the first car to fly, it's going to be special, right? But when you have every car that can fly, it's not going to be special no more. And that's what's happening. The 3-point shot used to be special. Now they're breaking records on how many shots, 3-point shots attempt, and that's all they pretty much shoot. It's not special no more. So if you take the special things out of basketball, viewership is going to go down. So I'm going to ask you, Dom, what is special about basketball? What inside of a basketball game that we watch today is actually special?
So from an NBA perspective, I don't think that the NBA is special right now. I agree with you. And so like what they had before, and I think what Magic Johnson and what they were talking about on Speak, they had storylines, but they were tied to competition and rivalries. Today, the storylines are tied to drama and gossip and personal lives. They're not, it's more of a reality show and less about the sport. So the storylines from the past, it was all about, Magic Johnson hates Larry Bird or whatever it was about. You know what I mean? It was about competition. It was about competing. The Bulls versus the Pistons, like that was a huge thing. Growing up, the Bulls versus the Knicks, there were rivalries in the league. We do not see that anymore. I think for some time there, were we watching a rivalry between Golden State and the Cavaliers those 4 years that they were battling in the finals? I don't know. I don't know if that was a rivalry. If LeBron James could have gotten Steph Curry to trade himself to the Cavaliers, he would have been all for it. So it's not a rivalry. Rivalry is like you hate the other player. You want, like Michael Jordan hated Isaiah Thomas.
And they were good friends coming up too.
Reggie Miller hated Michael Jordan. I think he still hates him to this day. So
you seen what Magic said. He's like, hey, we can go at it now. You put that green on, like that shit. It's all gone. It's all gone. So I mean, we have what we have, and viewership is going to continue to go down. And I'm sorry to say this, Dom. I believe Adam Silver is here to stay because he is making the owners more money than they've ever made before, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, there are some owners though that they don't feel that they're going to be making more money than they ever have before. So like, for instance, Mark Cuban sold his team. There are like the Celtics want to sell. They're their team is on the market. They're preparing to sell the Celtics. So, it's really interesting times. The landscape of the NBA, I think, is Adam Silver wants total control. He wants total control,
Absolutely.
questionable loyalty from these owners. He's putting himself in a place to have absolute power. And I think it's only going to get worse. I do.
Absolutely, Dom.
So,
And can I close out right here?
yeah.
Can I conclude my call? All right. So before I go, I just want to give a shout out to you, Dom. Thank you for battling through your technical difficulties. I know that can be frustrating, but somehow you still produced a fabulous show. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the mods. There's so many mods in here, I can't name them all. Jeffrey, Sports Ann. Oh, I love Sports Ann. Sports Ann is the best. Brother Juma, all the mods. They doing a great job monitoring the chat and doing what they need to do in the chat. Shout out to Ticket TV. He stopped through. I know he's really busy. Shout out to Grape Tea. Grape Tea's the best. She's here every freaking night. Shout out to her. So, and shout out to the rest of the community. Dom, you have a great community. Great show. You have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Talk to me
T-Bert.
nicely. I'm out.
That's right. I love it. Thank you so much for
All right.
calling, T-Bert. Okay, guys. Oh, I really want to thank everybody for joining me. It's just been so much fun. Honestly, you guys are awesome. I think we have a super chat that came through. Oh no, that's not a very appropriate message, so I'm not going to read that. Guys, I'm here to talk about sports, so, please don't spend money on writing me something that, nobody wants to see or read, okay? But thank you all for watching. Really, really great show. If you guys can do me a favor and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. How many likes do we have? Where are we at? So we have like almost 250 people in the chat. And we have 192 likes. Wow, you guys did so well tonight. I love it. You guys are amazing. If we can just jump up to like 200, 225, that would make me really happy. You guys are just amazing, honestly. All of the engagement, all of the wonderful calls and takes. I really appreciate you guys just taking the time out, not only just to listen to me, but to engage with each other in the chat and having meaningful conversations. Sometimes it's playful, lots of jokes happen. And, I just love looking over and seeing you guys having a good time. It really warms my heart. And I'm really grateful to be here with you guys. And I just hope that everybody's having a great holiday season. I hope that you guys are enjoying just all of the games that are going on, the good basketball that's happening in this league, because there is a lot of good basketball still. Great basketball does exist. We have to watch it. We have to consume it. We have to take the time to find the teams that are playing great team basketball and just kind of really lean into that, But again, I really just want to thank you all for being here with me tonight and chatting with me and being your authentic selves and being brave enough to call in or brave enough to share a different or an unpopular opinion in the chat. So I really want to thank Young Disciple. I know that, you come through and you're tough as nails. You have your armor on and ready to go. So I appreciate you all. Salute to everybody in the chat. And like I said, like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys later on tonight at 11 p.m. I'm going to be on time tonight. Okay. Okay. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.